Uh, Very solid win by our group. I thought, despite them, making a bunch of threes, credit to them. I mean, they hit some tough shots, and they just kept firing away. But our defense, especially in that third quarter, coming out, we hit the guys about just having laser focus, continuing to execute our defensive game plan, even offensively, how we were sharing the ball. Can't remember. I think we may have had close to 20 assists or something at halftime, but just taking that to another level. Obviously, a great job in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, I mean, credit the Nuggets. I mean, I think we went up 19 at one point. They just kept firing, kept coming, made some big shots, but we just kind of withstood those runs. Got a little sloppy, towards the end. Guys were definitely talking about in the locker room, so that's great, to know that those guys are aware of it. But overall, really good team win. Different guys stepping up tonight, which was huge. Contributions off the bench, so obviously, good win.
Coach, this was John Konchar's first extended look this season. What did you think of the minutes he provided?
Yeah, I thought he was really solid on those minutes. Made simple plays, quick decisions on the offensive end, playing, our scope on the offensive end. Defensively, just he's got, deceptive athleticism. I thought he was really solid, executing the game plan. We made a big emphasis for our guards to keep them from backdooring because Jokic is such a good passer. Thought he did a really good job controlling that, but overall, really solid performance.
Considering the contributions came from so many different guys, and Ja and Jaren were perhaps not in terms of points at least up there. Does this rank as one of the better wins of the season with the execution and the way you guys played?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, any night where it just shows that any guy can step up and contribute. Obviously Jonas had a heck of a night scoring, but Jokic is a heck of a player. I know Jokic scored, but he made it tough on him. His discipline, keeping him off the free throw line a lot. Because I know he can get there. He can fool you into a lot of that stuff. He made threes, but for the most part, I thought JV was great. Other guys, especially coming off the bench, just the sparks they give us. But I thought the defensive consistency did not let up from the starting group to the bench group. And when you get that production, on the defensive end, and obviously these guys go out and they run, I thought our pace, kind of affected them tonight a little bit. I thought multitude of guys just outside of Ja and Jaren were big contributors in that.
Believe the Grizzlies are 5-0 when Kyle starts. Just what does he bring to the starting lineup, and do you think that there's a chance that you may want to make him the starter going forward, given how well this group has played with him?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about it, but I think he's been great in whatever minutes he gets. Obviously, he's been coming off the bench for the majority of the season. But regardless if he's in the starting lineup or off, just playmaking, it's great. Having him out there being a facilitator. We actually got him in a couple of pick and rolls tonight. Made some great reads. He's got good instincts with his hands. He's going out there contributing. But it's great. I'm super happy that we're 5-0, and obviously we're playing well with Jay as well. So, no thoughts there, but obviously a great performance by Kyle. Just in just a great contribution role.
Now going 9 in the next 11 games on the road. How do you guys take this hot stretch you've been on and now try to carry it on the road, and just try to keep this momentum going?
As we've said all season long, we just focus on the next opportunity, grow from the last one, especially on the road. I think our guys have really embraced the road mentality. We've got a close-knit group in there. It's been good to see, especially in the month of January with so many games, that, that road mentality that we had for most of the season kind of came back home where we just buckled down. But, our guys, they've been doing it all season. So, they just go out there with that road mentality about doing it together, competing, knowing that, it's going to take a little bit more of an edge. So if we can, find a way to have good edge tomorrow night against the Knicks and the remaining, road games coming up, because we do have a pretty brutal road stretch.
You have a chance to go 500 to get to 500 tomorrow night. Does that have any significance, or is it just a game, the fact that you might hit that threshold?
Sure. To me, it's just a game. I think to our guys, it's just a game. I think they're just focused on the next opportunity. How can we learn to get better from here? I thought our defensive focus was pretty good. The guys were talking about how we got to execute. You never know what tomorrow's game is going to bring, right? But if we just keep focused on our habits night in and night out, as I've said all along, more good things happen.
Coach, you and Coach Malone both had the Kobe Bryant shoes on tonight. How did you guys coordinate that to make that?
Yeah, so Mike reached out to me and told me he was, working on, honoring Kobe this way, wearing some of his shoes. And, I got in contact with our equipment guy, Vince Ford, and he was already on top of it. So, right now, obviously, so many people, so many different organizations are trying to find different ways to honor just in our small part. So I feel blessed to be able to, be up there. The guys, obviously, our players recognize that, they know what it means. And I'm hopeful that, I think the rest of the coaches are going to start doing more of this. Players are putting on his jerseys, changing their numbers. It's still raw and emotional, and as everyone's trying to figure out their way, and hopefully everyone recognizes, obviously there's so much talk about Kobe's legacy and how much he's meant to us and how much we're going to miss him and carry forward, but continue to also cherish the lives of those others who lost their life in this horrific accident. So this is obviously our way of all of us shedding light on the beautiful life of Kobe, his daughter, and all the others that were in that helicopter crash.
Before the game, I asked Mike Malone if there was an element of surprise for this team, given how young it is, and that the last 2 months have been pretty different from November, obviously. And he said no. After 50 games, you generally know what a team is and what they do. For you, does that show just how far this team has come, that you're not catching teams off guard anymore, but you can still get a double-digit win over the Nuggets, who are top 4 or 5 in the NBA right now in overall record?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, that's obviously very, very nice of him to talk about and say about our team. All the credit goes to those guys, because especially if you just take a look at our first 2 games against the Nuggets, we had a lead and they came in, just smacked us in the mouth in the second quarter, and we got off to a slow start in the second game, but their defense still just kind of buckled down on us. We couldn't just get it done, and the execution with Jokic in the fourth quarter. So it's on us to just continue to get better. They know what we're doing. We got to do it at a higher level. We know what their defense is doing. How can we take advantage of their aggressive defense? And then, with our schemes, just being better. They were backdooring us like crazy in the last game, and Jokic was picking us apart, and he's going to do that anyway. But just making those incremental gains, especially when you're playing an opponent, 4 times a season, getting better, and hopefully, we're putting all our work to know what we're preparing for. But if our guys just focus on just taking that edge and that urgency and that focus to another level each time you're playing a different team, you hopefully reap the benefits of improvement. Thank you, everyone.